If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
If you want news and rumors.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, the Innkeeper, and this is our live call and talk show all about the Wheel of Time. And tonight we have a special gaming evening here planned at the Dusty Wheel with my special guest, Glen Dahlgren, who I will introduce here shortly. But I just want to remind you of a couple things coming up here at the Dusty Wheel. First of all, next Wednesday, this one's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking Amazon adaptations. That's right, a little Wheel of Time Rings of Power chat with the nerd of the rings. If you haven't ever checked out Matt's channel, if you are obviously a Lord of the Rings fan, you definitely should know this channel by now. He does amazing videos on the lore, and I had a chance to visit his channel once, and he's coming back here and chatting with us here at the Dusty Wheel. With us that evening is going to be also Christy Lucier. And for those of you that don't know Christy is a good friend, huge Wheel of Time fan, part of Team Moraine, and also a screenwriter. She's going to bring that screenwriter's vision to our discussion about Amazon adaptations. So please be back here on Wednesday. And just as a couple notes here, tonight, stick around until the end. We're going to give away 2 mugs. We weren't able to give away 1 mug last Wednesday because my son wasn't here and I didn't want to try to figure it all out. But he's back tonight. We're going to get 2 mugs out there. And one last note, shout out to Anas, our new mod here in YouTube chat. Please say hi to Anas and welcome him to the mod team. Okay, that's it, everybody. Let's jump into this discussion. We're here to talk all about the Wheel of Time PC game. And thankfully, we have lead designer of that game from back in the day and also now award-winning author. Let me welcome to the Dusty Wheel, Glen Dahlgren. Glen, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. Thank you very much for having me on. It's good to be back.
Yeah, right. You've been here before. This is all old hat, right? Like, well, I mean, you're back for a really good reason. I want to say multiple good reasons. And so before I talk about the return of the classic Wheel of Time game, I want to point out, congratulations. You just came back from a trip. You are a double award-winning, I don't know how many awards you've won now, but award-winning author. You just picked up something, was it Tuesday? Maybe tell the audience about what that was.
Yeah, it was just this last weekend. It's really fresh in my, it just happened. So I'm still kind of, reeling from it. But so my second book, The Game of War, was up for a Dante Rossetti Young Adult Fantasy Award. And I actually went there. I was able actually to visit with relatives and my father who was in the Seattle area. So I figured, why not? I'll just show up and see what happens. And it's a good thing I did because I won. I got
awesome.
First place for the Dante Rossetti Young Adult Fantasy Award, which is a big deal. I'll actually be putting that on my cover, along with the other award I have for Child of Chaos.
That's huge. That one was for Game of War. The Game of War, is that right?
Yes, that was for Game of War. That's
nice.
There we go. Yeah, that's
beautiful cover. Is this the first one in your series?
So yeah, it's the second book I wrote, but the first book in the series, it's book 0. It has I went about things really weirdly. I wrote Child of Chaos. It took me 20 years to write, and then I realized there was a character in there I really needed to develop further. And that was Dantes, Priest of War. And so I wrote the prequel, which was Game of War. And it's awesome. And it's actually, I think this is not going to be the last award that it wins. It's getting a lot of attention. But I have heard from people that if you want to read them, read 0 and then read 1. And then read 2. And we'll talk about 2 in a little bit.
Okay, yeah. For those of you that are really kind of curious about these books, we're not going to dig into them just now. We're going to save that for a little bit later in the show tonight. But congratulations again on that award. I want to talk about, what that meant to you and also this upcoming book you have and let fans call in and ask questions. But tonight, we're actually here to talk about the Wheel of Time. The Wheel of Time PC game. You were the lead designer on this game that came out, if I remember correctly, 1999. Was that right when it was released?
That's correct. Yeah,
that's the time. And this was, what was its popularity? As a fan of the books, I definitely went out and bought it. Did it become a very popular game? I know there was a lot of other games coming out at the time that people were familiar with. Maybe tell people a little bit about the history.
Right. Yeah, it's got a storied history. Basically, it came out and was very well received. People loved it. In fact, like GameSpy rated it one of the top 10 underrated games in history.
Yeah.
But it came out in the teeth of a couple of things. So Quake 3 Arena came out at exactly the same time, and so did Unreal Tournament. And so the first-person shooter world was very crowded at the time. But not only that, Unreal Tournament came out from GT, which was our publisher as well. And they were not doing so well. They didn't have that much money. So they only had so much money to promote the games that they were pushing. And Wheel of Time was not as big of did not have as big of a profile as Unreal Tournament. So they ended up putting all of their effort towards Unreal Tournament, and we ended up on the shelf, maybe in the right section. So it did reasonably well because it had good word of mouth, but it didn't reach the kind of audience that we were hoping for.
Yeah, Unreal Tournament, Quake 3, that's a tough crowd at the time. I remember playing all 3 of these games, but I remember a lot of my friends that were not familiar with the Wheel of Time, they thought it was interesting, I think, because it's based on the Unreal Engine, so it was interesting from that perspective. But they were all into Quake 3, that's for sure. I sucked, and for those of you that are getting ready for this tonight, we are going to get in the game here. This one that's now available on GOG. That's right, Good Old Games, I believe. GOG here brought this game back, so it does play really well on a modern PC, which is nice to see. You don't have to go through all the hoops of trying to make this game work. I don't know how they did it before. Maybe it was driver hacks, whatever it was, to make this. But this is, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to jump into this game. For those of you that haven't done this, you can go buy this now. So maybe check that out. Go buy this game and jump in and play. We're going to do that. So, this one's a lot of fun. Maybe as Taylor, as you set us up. Oh yeah, go ahead.
We should talk a little bit about how this came to be.
Yeah.
Because there's no way this game would have come about except for the TV series. And it just so happens that when I was on your show last time, the executive producer of the show was listening. And he got in contact with me, he got in contact with you, and let us both know that the game was under development. And the thing that had been holding this up for so long is that people wanted to bring the game out, but they didn't have the book license. But the studio, they had the book license, obviously, and so they thought for the release of the TV series, it would be really cool to bring the game back, and they made it happen. And they worked with Night Dive Studios and Good Old Games. Brought it up to, because you could get it working, the old version, if you had an old box, but it really involved a lot of contortions, and a lot of people got frustrated. So they took all of that work out and then made it so that you just one click and you're playing the game, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's been really. I mean, from what we've actually done some play testing here, everyone. So you'll see that. If I see some questions in chat about where can you get this, yeah, just go to GOG.com. There's a link in the description of the video where you can see that. You also can see there's a second link to Wotoni, WOTONI, and is that just a maybe explain what that is when people see it?
Sure. Yeah. So it was a little weird. I don't quite understand how this happened, but evidently. They shipped the game, GOG shipped the game with the old GameSpy master server link into it. And so you can play LAN multiplayer, but you can't play multiplayer over the internet. But it's like a typo because you can play it. All the infrastructure is still in there. It's just you can't connect unless you make a couple of minor changes to an INI file. You can use a text editor to do it. So if you buy the game from GOG, you get Notepad out. You can just Wotoni.com has, I think, on its front page the directions on how to change your INI files, so you can actually see all the servers that are out there, join up with one and play. And if you do it quick enough, you can play with us.
That's right. You can actually play with us tonight. Now, if you do jump in and you see us start to play, please don't kill us just yet. We're going to walk through the game mechanics. Yeah. We're going to walk through the game mechanics, talk about how this works. But it is actually not very difficult to do. You don't have to be, a computer nerd to make these modifications to these two files. And I know we have at least a couple of our fans and that follow us here at the Dusty Wheel are ready to jump in already. So I think that's a great introduction. I'm really glad they made this one really easy and they brought it back. And again, with some modifications, we can jump in and do this multiplayer. So, okay, why don't we let me kind of set the stage here. Taylor, do I just you want me to start this up here? Okay, so Taylor's going to get us started here shortly, everybody, and then we'll jump into this. What are people going to see here once we jump in, Glenn? Like, what is when we get into this, what we're call arena style? Maybe explain what arena style is.
Sure. Yeah. So Wheel of Time has two different multiplayer modes. One is arena, and the other is Citadel. I think what we're going to focus on tonight is arena. It's a lot more straightforward. Citadel is kind of a superset of arena plus. It has, building troops and traps and basically it's sort of a really cool capture the flag kind of approach where you're protecting your seals and you're trying to get seals from your opponent. But arena is all about it's deathmatch. Let's go in, let's beat each other up. The thing about arena, though, the thing about combat in Wheel of Time is it's different from every other first-person shooter you've ever tried because it's not so much about blasting each other with a rocket launcher. It's about I see you and I want to do something to you. I don't necessarily need to get you in my crosshairs in order to do that horrible thing to you. And the worst that I can do to you, the slower the thing is going to come at you. But it will eventually get to you. And as we've done some tests, you saw things were following you and will eventually, and they start speeding up. So you can't really run to outpace it. Eventually it'll get you. But in that time, you can do things to defend yourself. And they're all tir angrial. So they all have sort of instant effects that both offensive and defensive. So let's say I throw out a Seeker at you, which will do damage to you if it hits, it'll explode. Then you counter by using Reflect. And so it'll hit you, bounce off, and come back to me. And there's lots of different kinds of things that you can do in reaction to that. And so it becomes a way more strategic combat than just shooting at each other until one of us dies.
Yeah, it sounds a lot easier than it is. I mean, just pick up the use of Terangriel. That's simple. Okay, why don't we jump in here? Obviously, if you are, again, you've downloaded the game before, you can go in here and modify some controls and hardware settings for yourself. But we're going to jump into multiplayer. And, here I think we're going to go into the, was it this one right here?
It's the GOG. So everybody should know that if you have the old version of the game, it will not work with GOG servers. You'll get a version mismatch. So you need the GOG version, and you need to have made the changes to your INIs. So we're going to be going on the GOG server, arena server, with the base maps.
The base maps here. So
Yep.
again, if you run into some errors, you can throw them in chat and see if anyone can help fix them. You have to make sure. I ran into errors because I did not make changes to both files. I only made it to one, and it didn't work. Once I made those changes that are on the Watt and INI or Watt-Oni website, which again, the link is in the description of this video. So if you want to try to catch up, go download the game, then go modify these 2 files, and then you can jump into a multiplayer game, and you can join us here.
And we promise not to be too nasty to you.
Oh, well, yeah, you don't have to worry about me here. So you can obviously, everyone's going to be following me here. I don't know if you want to find me, Glenn.
Oh, is that you? No, there's somebody else.
There's somebody else in the game, you know.
Someone else has joined our game.
What you'll notice here, everyone, is I'm running around and I'm grabbing
there you are.
here.
You're the Hound. So you can choose to be one of 4 different characters. I believe I'm the Forsaken. You're the Hound. We have an Aes Sedai there, and the 4th is the White Cloak.
So if you'll notice, everyone, that you can kind of obviously kind of choose what your ter'angreal is, just between 1 and 8. Is that how they are? Is it 1 and 9?
Yeah. So there are 40 different artifacts in the game. So you choose by hitting like 1 to select something. But these are like missiles, the missile kind of artifacts. So you would just keep hitting 1 to select from the different ones in that list.
It seems like I have a good fireball in my hands right now, so I'm gonna go and try to find you.
Someone just corrupted all of my artifacts, so I had to use that.
Someone corrupted your artifacts. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
if you use taint,
that's not good.
They can corrupt your artifacts, and that's no good. But I had an anti-magic aura, so
I think I was told I cannot run away from what's about to come hit me.
Well, you can't run. You can run, but you can't hide.
Now, so I have this one right here on number 4, and I think this is the one you called. Is it Reflect? It's the 2 people, the 2 individuals that are kind of holding hands here.
Yes, that is Swap.
Okay, so that's Swap. So I'll show you how this works. If you want to find me, I'm in that. I don't know what you'd call this the crypt area.
Let me see. You're in the water. I get nervous in the water just because if anybody uses lightning, then everybody
this Reflect one, if you try to hit me with something, I'm now on Reflect. I'll show you what this happens.
I'm going to throw a decay at you.
Okay.
And you're going to try to reflect it before it hits you. So here comes decay. Oh, and now it's after me.
So now it's after him. That's a really cool. I love. Now
I just reflected it back at you.
That's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to do that. Okay. So shoot. Oh no.
Oh.
I did not make it out there. At least I have some. Oh, I didn't get to my healing there. Okay.
No.
So, while everyone watches me get killed by you and whoever else is in this game that's playing the Aes Sedai, why don't you kind of talk through? You had them put 40 ter'angreal. How did that process come together? This ter'angreal right here. What I'm about to pick up.
So that's taint.
This is taint.
Yeah,
okay.
So it shows someone's head exploding or cracking open. So that's
okay.
That's what's going on.
Now,
there.
what does taint do? For example, what did you guys make taint do?
So basically, I tried to figure out all the axes that might be interesting strategically. And so one of the things is like taint is permanent. And so you'll see, and actually if you die and you drop a bag of artifacts and they've been tainted, they will be tainted for the next guy who picks them up. So those artifacts will cause damage to you every time you use them.
Oh, interesting. So you can taint something, not just like a person. You can taint an artifact.
You are tainting the artifacts. Now this thing that I'm doing to you, that's called Soul Bar. It doesn't actually cause any damage, but now for a certain amount of time, if you activate an artifact, you will take damage as well.
Okay.
So I'm affecting you.
Now it seems like I just threw taint. Did that
No, you didn't. No, it's going to follow you.
Oh, great. Okay.
Luckily, there are things that can remove effects like that, like the anti-magic aura.
Yeah, that's what I defined. Oh, I like this one down here. Oh, I think.
What do you got?
I just got Balefire, I believe.
Oh, yeah. So there is no defense against Balefire.
There's no defense against Balefire like it, so I need to go find whomever the last person was that killed me and make sure I take... Now, with Balefire, you decided to make it have a charge of some sort, right?
Yeah, well, basically, it's so powerful that we decided to make it so that you have to charge it up in order to use it. So you hold down the fire button and then you release it. which means that you can't just spam someone with balefire.
Ooh, there it is. Balefire just ended. The Aes Sedai
You just remove them from the pattern.
They kindly allowed us to take them out.
That was nice of them. Now they no longer
nice
existed, so. Oh,
that's right. So balefire is really nice. So there's nothing you can't reflect balefire. I like.
You can't even hide in an anti-magic aura. It will go through everything. It will go through walls. If you notice, like, where are you right now? Hold on.
Yeah, so it'll go through walls, really.
Yes,
okay.
It'll go through walls.
Let's do that.
So you're down there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so go into the other room.
This.
Go,
okay.
Keep going, and I'll show you.
Okay, I love it. Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm all the way on the other side of the map. And,
oh wow.
And you see the holes in the walls that it leaves for a while.
Oh, interesting.
Those are those are decals, little black holes. Oh, I got you!
I think we both.
From the other side of the map, I got you.
That was pretty funny. Okay. Oh wow. I feel like somehow I just killed myself or something happened.
Did you use lightning in the water? Because that freaks me out.
Interesting, yeah. So I love that balefire goes through things. Well, I'm glad you did that. That's that kind of mechanic.
Yeah, nothing's gonna stop balefire. What do you think?
Yeah, no, but I mean, what I mean by that is I'm glad that you were involved in the sense that they cared for that kind of. Decision making, if you will.
Oh, absolutely. No, and so yeah, I designed all of the artifacts. And what's kind of interesting is, oh man, jeez, hold on. What was interesting is, even though I designed them to be strategic,
okay, here's reflect.
I still wanted them.
Or
to
replace, or whatever it is.
There we go. I'm in anti-magic right now, so okay. I still wanted them to have a basis in the books, so they weren't just driven by the books, because obviously it has to be a good game first.
Sure.
But I wanted it to at least sort of have some kind of seeds there. So what I did was I looked for any time that they talked about threads, talked about these spells that they were putting together, and figured out if there was a way to incorporate something like that into the game. And you'll notice I actually had a team of volunteers combing through the books, looking for references like that, not just for the game design, but for I think you can do it if you summon, I can't remember what the key is. If you look at an artifact, select an artifact, and I think it's F10.
Okay.
No, it's not. Oh, F10 is Citadel Editing. I should have done that before.
So what was F10?
What is it? F4, F2. Look at F2.
Okay.
So you'll notice that the text underneath the artifact tells you what it is, even though yours is really tiny, so it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
But the text that's under that comes directly from the books. It's all flavor text that references something that is either, it is this direct thing that was used in the books, or it's kind of like it, in order to, give that feeling for a, like it's part of the books, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, no, that's if you ever kind of jump in here, you can do the same thing. You can figure out, for example, if you're kind of curious how this even works, you can kind of just go function F1, get a feel for it. Now it looks like function F2. I mean, whoever that was that just killed me, that
was me.
Cool.
And I didn't kill you. I just made you hurt. Oh, maybe I didn't kill you.
I tried to heal myself there, but it looks like I'm about to die. That's what I think it's about to
Well, you know what you can do is go over and you can obviously find the heal. That's the chalice. But you see these, I'm at the bottom of the ladder, and you'll see these little plants that are kind of growing all over the place.
Yeah.
If you pick one of those up, it'll slowly heal you. And it heals you faster if you stay in one place.
Oh, okay.
So actually, I'm right
where
under
would I find that? Where would I find that plant at?
Just come down. Just drop down.
Down here? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Right next to the reflect. Definitely get the reflect and get the plant.
Oh, I got you. These plants right here.
Yep. And you'll see a little thing right up by your character in the upper right.
Yeah.
And that, if you stand still, especially, you'll heal faster.
Okay, so I mean, right now it looks like I have. Let's see, what else do I have here? I have a shield Terangreal. What is that one? Is that one just something you can?
Oh yeah, that's just extra armor.
On?
So that means you're harder to damage at this point.
Okay.
Here, you might want to grab that.
And this is
that's the reflect.
Okay.
That's probably one of the most powerful and easy to use artifacts.
Okay. So reflect is just a really great one defensively when you're running around.
Because something can be on your butt right there, about to hit you, and you can reflect it.
Okay. And so if
someone
I'm
set up a bunch of
there we go.
wards. You see that? Oh, you walked right by it.
Oh, I did not see that.
Oh, jeez. Whoa, I didn't see whatever that was. I think I stepped on a ward too.
I feel like
yeah. So again, this is all about strategy. So setting up traps is something that's a lot of fun. If you have those wards, you can just lay them down in a place you think someone's going to run by. And there's a bunch of those plants over here.
Now, where's a good place to find a ward, if you will?
Oh, who's firing? Here, I'll save you.
I reflected.
Oh, I thought you needed saving, but you didn't. You know
That's
what's
right.
up.
I definitely added a little reflect, which was very helpful.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that the person that I reflected against appreciated that. But okay, so if you find a ward, let me know. I would love to kind of see where that's at for people.
A ward? Oh, sure. I think they spawn.
What is that one? Is it this right here? No.
Let me see where you are.
No, that was a fireball. Oh, that's...
Oh, geez. What happened? Someone's... I was looking at your screen and someone decided
It was the Aes Sedai being Aes Sedai. That's what was happening right there. Clearly a black Raja or something.
Okay, that'll learn you. Okay,
so here I am trying to show people how to play this game, and then just Aes Sedai running around killing me.
That's what they do.
It's Beth in chat.
Okay, so
Thanks
where
a lot,
are
Beth.
you now? You are
I'm going
downstairs.
down to the water. Yeah.
Okay, if you come up here, I'll find you. I can't actually put a ward. That's you. Okay, so come up here.
Yep.
So a good place to put one would be like right here, and I have one. So if you're there, I can put one right there.
Oh, gotcha. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, and so someone coming up the stairs won't notice it because they don't see it until it's too late, and then they'll run right over it. And then,
gotcha.
But
so you
can always explode them with a fireball or something if you notice them.
But not. It'd have to be a fireball. Nothing as insignificant as whatever this thing.
I think dart might do it, but that'll definitely do it.
Okay, so fireball is the way to go here. I like it. Okay, so you came up with 40 of these, which I'm sure does this level have. This level probably does not have all 40.
No, there are some that are like they summon creatures that only appear in Citadel, and there are other specific ones for the single player game. But we try to get as many in. Oh, and I don't think this has any of the elemental shields, which is kind of crazy.
Okay, so there are shields themselves that you can just use, which are okay. I love seeing, by the way, everyone. And now I feel like people are kind of now a little bit, stepping back and not necessarily killing me, so I can speak about the game. So thank you, but I love that you're continuing to fight at this point. That's wonderful. This is a good question from Anas in chat. Is this the White Tower? What is the
map? This is part of the Shatter Logoth map, the textures and architecture.
And maybe speak to that. Like, this is Shatter Logoth. What other places could we go to?
Right. So basically, what I did was, when we started creating this game, the landscape of first-person shooters was mostly kind of along the lines of like early Doom, and what was even Unreal. And at the time, the environments were mostly kind of functional, not really beautiful. Yeah. And I came from adventure games, and I really loved like fantasy fine art. And so one of my missions was create fantasy fine art that you could walk into it. Yeah. And so we got a lot of press because of that. We were doing things that no one had ever done in the first-person shooter, which is to create this architecture and these wonderful texture maps.
Yeah. Now I'm going around trying to give some look at this. I hadn't really stared at that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Shatter Logoth maps are pretty monochromatic, but they're beautiful. Actually, I think some of the Shatter Logoth maps in the single-player game are some of my favorite in the.
I love watching the fight that's going on here.
Yeah, it's hard to talk and fight.
You're doing a great job.
So what I did was I identified.
Is there an easy map for us to? Can we jump to another map, or is that really difficult?
I probably like 20 years ago I could have tell you how to do that. I think if you vote, you can move on to the next map.
If you vote, oh, well,
yeah,
how do I do that? That's
or we can just get. I know that after a certain number of kills, it will automatically go to the next map. Oh man, somebody! I picked up somebody's bag that had been tainted.
Hybrid Havoc asked, "What's the maximum player count?" So, is there a maximum number of people that can enter a game?
I think it's usually set by the server.
Okay.
And I think it's 16.
16 of us could be running around here, playing these.
Yeah, some of the maps are much bigger than this. This is actually a pretty good size for. Oh, jeez.
Wow, there's balefire all over the place.
Yeah,
I turned around and was like,
I got nailed.
What's this one right here that I'm staring at?
Let me see. Okay, so that's decay.
That's decay.
So what that does is it eats away not only at your health, but also of all the charges of your terangrial. Okay. So you're losing everything when you get decay.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so when you hit somebody, so decay is okay. Decay is that. Okay.
Oh, did you decay at me? Oh man. I need something.
You got a good swap.
I did get swapped. Now you got decay.
I'm looking for a way out of the decay.
Yeah, I just got the reflect that was right there. No. So too bad for you.
That was not the way out.
That was not a smart thing to do. So anyway, the point that I was trying to make is we have 4 major characters in this game. We have the Aes Sedai, the Forsaken, the Hound, and the White Cloak. And each of them have these, what I call architectural primitives associated with them. So we created these set of textures and architecture and sort of blocks of rooms and pillars and all kinds of stuff. And what we would do is just make a ton of maps using those architectural primitives. And again, it kind of sounds simple now, but at the time, nothing like that had ever been done. So we ended up being able to make a fair amount of content with a relatively small team. And the primitives were beautiful. I ended up, with some incredibly talented people, both making textures and making the architecture. I actually lost my architect. They went and started working on, I think it was Blade Runner for Virgin.
Oh, really?
And one of my artists stepped up, Paul Mock, and turned out he had an incredible eye for architectural design.
So now, when it comes to, oh, that wasn't cool. When it comes to other terangrial that you wanted to put in the game, didn't get to, were there ones that kind of just was 40 limit, or?
Honestly, no one told me no.
Okay.
So I kind of put all of them in.
Well, that's so you didn't really have. There wasn't like just a terangrial out there that you just didn't get because there's just too many.
It's been so long. There probably were some terangrial that I ended up not using because they didn't work out. But some of them are very dangerous, like shift. I don't think we have a shift in here, but shift teleports you like a step in front of you. So nice. That can break a game. If the map isn't made correctly for shift, then you can fall outside the map. You can end up doing things you really shouldn't do. And in fact, people were using shift to put the seals in places that they shouldn't put them.
Oh,
so they were incredibly, if not impossible to get. So we had to actually make fixes because they'd find them for us, and then we'd have to go fix the map because of that. But shift, some of these things like swap places and shift and a few others, I was able to construct like tiny little adventure gamey like puzzles inside the single player campaign. Yeah. And, it was like, the further away you put the thing you need to the thing where you need to use it, the harder it is. Yeah. And for a first-person shooter crowd, I ended up putting them almost right on top of each other. So if there was something you needed to use, chances are you'd find it very close by.
Yeah, I love this. Anas said, so the GOG version is just a re-release, no updates.
That's
I believe
correct.
That's the case. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't add any functionality or anything. They asked me, and I actually told them the one thing that I really would have loved to have gotten into the game, that I think would have been really, really good, is bots. And we tried doing that.
What did you want to put in it?
I just picked up a tainted bag, but someone dropped an anti-magic aura, so it got rid of the taint. So no problem. So we had bots working for Arena, and but they weren't perfect. But what we ended up doing is using that bot AI in the single player game. So when you go and you fight some of the Black Aja and other spell using people, that's what's using our bot AI. But we never got it to the point where it was really compelling in a multiplayer game, nor could they be smart enough to do Citadel.
Yeah, that would have been nice. I think that's the fun thing. I think in Arena, Citadel kind of position, if you could go in with 8 human players against the computer.
Absolutely.
AI.
Well, I think it's one of the reasons that Unreal Tournament was as popular as it was, is because you didn't have to.
That wasn't cool. That wasn't cool.
Sorry, it's that that lizard brain.
I got you.
It's hard not to blow you up. So yeah, I think Unreal Tournament really leveraged the fact that, oh man, I need to swap with someone. The fact that you can play without other people, because it was a little intimidating to jump in and play with people.
Oh yeah, I reflected it back at you, and now you swapped.
That's
with
what
me.
it's all about.
Nice.
That's the idea of you notice that it's more about these things that track than it is about fireballs. Fireballs is a big deal, and it will save. But these seekers.
Yeah, the seekers with the reflect, and it's fun. The reflect, swap, and seeker kind of combos. Oh wow, I didn't see it coming back at me there. That's the funny thing. If you're not watching,
it's not just that you're not watching, but it goes faster and faster as time goes on. So the more it gets reflected, the less time you have to react.
Okay, so I can't get back in. It looks like we finally got somebody.
We are done.
Okay.
I'm won, which means we're going to be going to the next map.
Okay. So it just takes it a little bit. Is that what happens here?
I think so. Yeah, it's just showing you there.
Oh, okay. This is probably fun for. Yeah, this is definitely.
So this is interesting.
Yeah. So which location is this?
So this is the Forsaken. Oh right.
Oh,
there's little pressure plates here that will open that thing up.
Oh shoot. Nice.
So I just opened it up for you. So
like
you just.
That was well done. Good timing.
So yeah, so the Forsaken's Manor. That's what these. It's interesting though because we are looking at the 2 darkest set of primitives, the Shadow Logatso.
So how many times did you have to kill somebody there? Was it 10?
10, yes.
Notice? Okay, so feel free to kill me.
Oh man, ouch!
I don't know if I kill myself.
Oh, you were in
times?
there. You were on top of the thing again.
If I kill myself 10 times, will it get us to the next level?
Yeah. No. Suicides is not the same thing as kill.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So now we're seeing some elemental shields show up.
Yeah. So what's this one?
Oh, that's why this is here. So okay, I just got the whirlwind. So go into the middle.
Okay.
Oh, jeez, who's fighting me?
Okay, I'm in the middle.
Okay, where are
here.
you? Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
Bye.
A whirlwind. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, but you have the fire shield on.
I did have it. So it did take me a while to die.
When it wears off, then you're dead.
Also, yeah. Oh, there's the whirlwind. Oh, you took it.
Oh, did I get that? Oh, that's a shame. Let me walk you over somewhere.
Oh, so you actually control them while they're in the whirlwind. Oh,
but I'm not going to throw you into the thing. I already made my point.
Oh shoot, that didn't matter. Yeah, that is.
Whoever this is, I'm going to throw them in.
Yeah, if you're watching this and you want a chance, you can come play with us right now. You just need to download the game, make a couple changes to files, and yeah, you too can be thrown in the pit of lava. You know?
So you found the fire shield, which is great. Fire shield is one of the most popular, or excuse me, the most powerful shields. So like if you have the fire shield on, you go ahead and shoot at me.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. And even seekers.
Okay, so now what's this time? Is it a time something here? This is what do we call this thing?
Oh, that is a personal anti-magic aura. So like the
Oh,
box,
okay.
you can put that down and come back to it. But that one, like if I do that, it'll just pop.
Oh, that's awesome. That is my kind of ter'angreal.
Right. And someone just threw this at me, and I'm going to throw it at you.
My defensive-minded ter'angreal.
Oh, nice. Oh, man. Here. Eat a earth
Oh,
tremor.
what's that?
Oh, jeez. Get off of me. Oh, jeez.
Okay, so Hybrid Havoc said, where are the instructions on what to change? So if you want to know what to change about the files, you just, I think if any of the admins, I think Bard of the Red Hand, you have those instructions. You want to post them to the live shows Discord. Also, there's a link in the description of this video that goes to Wotoni, WOTONI.com, and on that page that you go to is the instructions for making a change to those two files.
Yeah, it's really simple, and don't be intimidated by it.
They're very. Wow, there's a lot of seekers going on all over the place.
Yeah, something's coming after me. I don't like it. Oh, there you are. So the shields are really useful if you don't have any other defenses, because they just will bounce off of you.
So
I mean, they won't bounce off; they'll just dissipate.
So your friend just said, are we going to see the gameplay or just PvP play?
Oh,
we can
dang.
We can certainly
I
jump
got you
to
both. Oh,
yeah, nice
well,
job.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we can certainly jump to, and you can we can let people that are jumping in and playing. They can play against each other here, and we can jump out, or I can jump out and show everybody the kind of single player game, if you will, just for a second. And maybe I'll do that. Let me see here. I think that you guys can keep doing what you're doing, and I will.
I will say that the single player game starts with a fairly long cutscene. You're probably going to want to skip through that.
Okay, I don't know if it stopped me from doing it. Let's see here. Okay, so Taylor.
Well, maybe I should drop out as well if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead and drop out.
On...
People can go ahead and keep playing. We'll jump back there, but we're going to jump into. And Taylor, if you want to get us back in, I wonder if I can just click in there or no. Okay, let me do this. I believe that's just run right at the top. Okay. Okay, everybody. I'll get us to a place, and then we can just talk about the single player. I'm assuming I can just say new game, and go to easy, and then...
Tarvalin Gold convinced a sailor to take me down the Manether Endril, but drawing near to Shadar
Let's see if it'll connect here with us here. 1 second.
Okay.
He finally left me off, saying
so
looks like it.
This is the cutscene. We probably don't. Do I want to?
This is after the cutscene, so
okay.
You're good.
Do I want to? What do I want to do here? Just.
So this is. The Hound has actually just attacked the White Tower and killed a bunch of people. Turns out that the spoiler alert. Black Aja let him in, and he took something. He took something very important. It wasn't a seal, but it was something that you'll find out later why it's important. And the current Aes Sedai has asked you, the only one she trusts because of the infiltration of Black Aja, to go and track this guy down using your ter'angreal to get this thing from him. But he's got Trollocs protecting him. And so he's trying to get somewhere, but you'll find out later, he's not happy with the fact that he thinks he's been set up too. So right now, that's exactly what we're doing. We are following his trail. And actually, this is the place that I have the strongest memory of Robert Jordan walking through. And if you look to the left, you'll see sort of the water over there, and you see some of the fireflies and some of the butterflies and things like that, and the fish swimming around. We didn't do this for his benefit, but he immediately fixated on those things.
Oh, really?
And he said he loved the small details. The fact that the world felt alive to him was really important to him. I mean, he's not going to run around shooting fireballs at things. So that's what he was enjoying. He was enjoying the art and the fact that the world and the sounds made it come alive. It was really, you got in the river there.
Now I gotta go back to where I started from. That's always fun. So yeah, this I remember playing this. It's been really, really long time. So
Sure.
That's
It's been like a generation.
yeah, right. What I love is that you can play this now again, and it's not like it's really responsive, right? Like there's not. It doesn't.
I would
feel
hope
like,
so. I mean, new technology.
Yeah.
It should be. So yeah, what we were as cutting edge as you could get back when we released. We were pushing the technology, the hardware that was out there. But now, I think you have jacked up that resolution really high, and it's still smooth because that's, it was made for really primitive hardware. Did you find some darts at least?
I don't think I've found any darts yet.
Okay, well, you take care of him with your air pulse. There's some darts in there.
Is there some darts inside of here?
Yeah, there are.
Okay.
Remember, you have to hit one multiple times to select the darts. There you go.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
So,
Beth was playing with us. Thanks, Beth. That was a lot of fun. Ooh. So the fire even does.
Yeah, the fire
some
will
damage.
hurt you.
Nice.
Don't touch fire. Fire bad. So some people are not too excited about the fact that Trollocs can dodge your stuff, and they will. The best thing, on that guy he throws his axe.
I like the different look of the Trolloc faces there.
Yeah.
Right? That was like our bird Trolloc face.
Right, and there's a big boar-looking one later on. Internally, actually, I think everybody now calls him the big-ass Trolloc. And he's huge, and he throws this nasty spear halberd-like thing. You need to get in there and get that. I don't know if you get in there from here, though. You might need to drop down onto it. Again, it's been a while for me, too.
Let's see. Yeah, I might need to go around.
Yeah, I think you need to drop down on it from somewhere else. Just keep going. There was a moment here, fairly soon, where you are... Oh, jeez. Man.
It took me down.
There's a big moment coming up that is... Everybody remembers it. From their first playthrough, and that's the moment that you walk by Shadar Logoth, and there's this huge thunder clap and lightning strike, and you get to see Shadar Logoth, and it's like everyone immediately jumps out of their chair and then looks over and oh my god. I did not script that. Matt Warsh did. He's the one who made that level, and he scripted it, and I was really proud of him for giving us that moment because everybody talks about it.
So it looks like there's a little hiccup on mine. Like whenever I die there and try to restart, it looks like I have to like restart the game itself. So.
Well, if you haven't saved, then you have to restart from the level.
Yeah.
You don't get lives in first-person shooters usually.
Well, there's a little bit of a taste for the first-person shooter. I love the whole Trolloc aspect to it. That's a lot of fun. Let's jump back in here really quick and see if we have any additional multiplayer individuals who have jumped in.
Let's see what we got.
Do we have? It looks like someone's in there. I'm not sure how many people are in there here. Bradster was wondering if you've put any Easter eggs, if you will, in the game.
I should say not intentionally, but there were some, and I didn't put them in, but the level designers did.
Okay.
And so you'll find some images of Lincoln throughout the game.
Some images of Lincoln, really? Okay.
Yes.
It looks like we might have lost all of our... I'm not sure if we have any... Oh, there's someone.
I'm not seeing any servers. I'm not sure what's going on with my game right now. I'm gonna get out and restart.
Let's see. What is that one? What's this?
Here we go. All right.
What's this blue? Let's see.
That's freeze, I think.
Oh, blue is freeze.
Yeah. So a wonderful combination is freeze and then balefire.
Just kidding. Oh, what's? Oh, that one's.
That one was a chain lightning.
That's great.
Man, but I get really nervous when I don't have any defense, and I'm really low on health. That happens. Oh man!
Did we just both kill each other?
I killed myself with my own seeker.
That's hilarious.
Well, someone has -3, so if you suicide, you get a -1.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that actually keeps us in the game longer.
Oh, okay. Well, that's no fun. Well, feel free to kill me so we can move on to the map here. Now, okay. By the way, if you'd like to, this is a live call-in talk show, so you certainly can call us right now. And if you have any question here, you throw this up there. It's 1-313-TALK-WAT. That's 1-313-825-5968. If you'd like to ask a question to Glenn about the game as we play here, so feel free to do that. Let me jump back, and I'm sure I'm in the midst of dying, or yes, I did get killed while I was out there telling people all about calling in. That's for sure. And I'm kind of just, I want people to die, get 10 here,
so we can see a new map.
Yeah. I'll be the sacrificial lamb here. Do we have any? Oh, 5 at this point. Do we have? We're getting maybe closer here. But yes, if you want to call us again, 1-313-825-5968. If you got a question for Glenn all about the game, something that we didn't answer already, we didn't see it in chat. Just a curiosity you have about having been part of this endeavor. Maybe tell everybody while we're doing this. How about when it came to just your fandom with the Wheel of Time? When did that begin, and how exciting was it to be part of this? Glenn, I don't know if you're.
Is that a question for me? Sorry.
Yeah. No worries. You're in the midst of trying to not die.
Trying to rack up kills so we can get onto the next map.
How long have you been a Wheel of Time fan?
So I think I've told the story a bunch, but I don't know if I've told it to you. And that is, Legend was we got a large investment from Random House, and we were making adventure games. And they gave me a list of books that I could license in order to make an adventure game. And I looked at them, I didn't want to do any of them. But I had just read like the first 3 books of the Wheel of Time, and I was just enthralled by it. I thought, this is exactly what I want. So we battled for it. We actually went into a bidding war with another company, and thank God they didn't go with them, because they were not Byron Price, I think it was, and they were kind of schlock. So I'm no good with Balefire.
So
anyway,
you were already kind of interested in this game and doing it. You'd only read the first. It was only because the first 3 books.
I think it was the first 3. I can't remember what was out at the time.
What year was it when they first approached?
So it was probably like a year or 2 before we released. So like
so it was about 97?
97 about. So
yeah,
whatever was out, I had read.
Probably Crown of Swords, I would think.
Could be.
So,
I don't remember. Yeah. All I remember is I had to keep rebuying them because the bindings would break.
Nice.
Because I had to keep reading them and researching them, and anyway, so I was a huge fan.
Yeah.
Before I ever started working on this game. And I think it's because I was such a big fan that we made the games. In fact, that's the way Legend worked. It wasn't like we looked at the, potential profit for a game. What was, we obviously wanted Shannara, and we got it, and some of the big titles, but we did it because we loved the works, not because, we cared so much about the upside.
Yeah.
And so all of our designers, they went after the ones that they wanted. I will say I was a big Piers Anthony fan at the time. I loved his early work. I thought it was wonderful. But I didn't get that game. I didn't get Xanth. And I think it's best I didn't, because I don't write in puns. I'm just not a punny guy. And you need to in order to write Xanth. But I got Wheel of Time, and that was my wheelhouse. It's really what I wanted to do. But I started doing an adventure game. We had a big sort of back and forth with Robert Jordan about that. He didn't want an adventure game, but he did want us to do something new and cool. And it just so happened I had something new and cool in my mind, and that became Wheel of Time, the first-person shooter, which was definitely different. It's not what you would normally see. for a fantasy license like this. Yeah, the only other game that was kind of similar would be Heretic, I think, at the time. And a lot of people compared us to Heretic. We were like the Unreal version of Heretic, because Heretic was using the Doom engine.
What is this map that we're in now?
So this is another Shadow Logoth map. Oh, so you got... Who summoned that? I guess he did. So you can summon characters that will do battle for you. And so you hear someone yelling. Yeah, he summoned... you can summon 3 different levels. There's the... I can't remember the names of them, but the pawn, and then the captain. It's you, I guess.
That was a quick death.
Dang it. So, yeah, he soul barbed me, so every time I shoot something, I get damage myself. That kind of stinks. You know, it's like, it's been so long since I played these maps, I'm completely learning them again myself.
Yeah, no, this one's, it's a, I know people would like to see, like, all the maps, and like, all you have to do, everybody, is just go download the game. It's $9.99 on GOG.com. So that's one way to be able to kind of do this.
I gotta say, the most fun I've had. Dang it! Stop that. I never played. Dang it! I never played my games after I released them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, remember, I'm an adventure game designer. Or at least I used to be a long time ago. And so this is the first game that I ever designed that I just played the crap out of for years after we released. And I got really good. And for a split second, I was the best in the world.
Oh, really?
For about a month, I'd say, when we released it. You know, and that might even be giving me too much credit.
And then you fell off there?
Well, yeah, because there are really good players out there. And especially when it came to Citadel, I stopped playing Citadel pretty early because people got good. Way better than me. And so I could hold my own in Arena, but Citadel...
Yeah, I like these effects for, I mean, especially 1999. I want to note that I did kill somebody out there.
Oh, nice.
I got a kill in. I mean, I just got killed pretty easily. That was not shocking for what's today been like. That's for sure. If you want to call in and chat with Glenn about what you've seen so far, have any questions about the game, about single player version of this, and anything, you can give him a call while we just kind of sit here and.
Hey, I summoned a troll. Oh, and you swap places with it.
That was a bad idea. That's not what I.
That's not what you're intending to do. Well, you know, Trolloc is as good enough a target as any. Oh, dang! I got bale fired.
Oh yeah, I knew that thing was following me. That Seeker really, you just can't get away from it.
No,
if you're wondering which server this is was it GOG?
It's the GOG base maps.
GOG base maps you should see a number of us in the server. So if you're looking for, this is one of the arena servers, and you should see the GOG base map. There's probably 4 of us here, so you should be able to jump in. And if you were wanting to join us. Now, it would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it, to come back, do a Citadel, and get some teams, and actually get a little tournament going on among fandom. I think that would be fun to bring back some tournaments, maybe have a day of tournaments or something like that. Maybe even have some prizes for the winners of the tournament. I think we definitely would need some way to not necessarily just make it so the people who've been playing this for a long time come in and win everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because the people who have played it forever are the ones that, you know, they have all the muscle memory.
Yeah, right.
And I lost all that. Well, at least most of it.
What is this? Oh, somebody killed me before I could even figure out what it was I was going to do with that. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'm just going around.
Honestly, it's really about being able to identify the artifacts, knowing what you're trying to get and knowing what you're actually getting, and then how to use those things. Once the artifacts are no longer a mystery.
That was not nice. That was not nice.
Whoever the White Cloak is, I am his bane.
That's...
Oh! I hate getting hit by balefire. Because it's like, you're just gone.
Yeah, I haven't even
There's nothing you can do about
this one.
Yeah, I think it would be wonderful. Oh, jeez, someone is good with balefire. It would be wonderful to show off Citadel because, as I was explaining to you, it's kind of the cornerstone concept of this game. It's how I sold this game to publishers. Is by it's kind of like the core arena game is Magic meets Doom. Magic being the card game. And so it's all the strategy of Magic with, you know, the rocket launchers of Doom. But then the reason that people stick around it is because the Citadel game is all about creating an experience for someone else to have. Something, it's like making a deck in Magic.
Right.
You're designing something that someone else is going to have to deal with. And so a level designer gets that all the time. They get to construct like this huge environment with all kinds of crazy encounters and things in there. That's a lot of fun. I consider that to be a lot of fun. I'm not good enough to be a level designer. If I sat down, I mean, I've done some level design, but to make something that looks and plays as good as this, I never tried doing that. I had people who are much more talented at that. And so what I did was I gave them the ability, I gave all players the ability to modify the environment with all kinds of interesting, unique things to make it their own. So you get to run around and start and put down troops and put down traps, things that other people are going to have to deal with. And it's kind of cool.
By the way, I'm just running away from people at this point.
That's a good idea. I have, so actually shift is in this map, which is good, because if you shift, anything that's tracking you stops tracking.
Nice. I am not good at this game. What I love is that we did get a good group of people that have been running around and having fun with us here. So,
well, they're killing me, which means they've got some experience.
Okay, so what I would like to do now is probably for this last, maybe just for a couple more minutes, excuse me, run around here and die a couple more times, and then step out, leave those who are having a lot of fun in here to play. Which map is this? Remind us. Do you remember what?
Oh, this is one of the Forsaken maps. It's really a shame that we haven't seen any of the White Cloak levels, because those are the most beautiful. I mean, they're really pretty and they're really colorful.
How many maps are there?
I think for arena maps, there's like 10, I think.
10
I mean,
maps,
a
okay.
ton. We released more later, not in the original shipment, and others
Gotcha.
like, you know,
GOG doesn't have any of the updates.
I don't, but they don't. They're not They're not hosting servers anyway.
Oh, true.
So it really doesn't matter. It's really what. Oh, geez, I walked over a bunch of.
Okay, so what's this one right here? This is the. Oh, is this the shift one? Is this a?
Oh, is there? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, so anything that's following you loses the track.
Loses the track. Okay. That's handy.
Yeah, so these people, they know what they're doing.
The ones that are running around killing you?
Yeah, the ones that are running around killing me, they know what they're doing. So anyway, that was actually what really got people excited about it, well, publishers excited about it, is the idea that you would be constructing your own world for other people to play in. And I think it's one of the reasons that it was so why there's so much longevity. It's really fun firing through walls.
Yes, balefire through walls is
because you don't know if you're going to hit. I mean, there's no way to cheat that. You just have to pray and hope it works. Oh, there we go. Got it.
Oh, so this is Sever. Oh, nice. Okay.
Sever. Oh, Sever sucks. Sever is the one, my one regret. I mean, what it does is it puts a shield between you and your target, and so anything that hits it will just bounce off. Okay. But in actuality, it just ends up being harder to use.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, Samuel's here. Okay, no wonder. If it's the same Samuel, he's kind of a legend. He's one of the OGs.
He's one of the OGs. Nice. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Oh, and he's got 6 to my 2. So there you go. 7.
Some joy.
Yeah, we will all be dead soon. I mean, he's one of the Forsaken. So there you go.
Nice.
So,
yeah, is there anything else like about the game itself? If someone's wondering right now, is this something worthwhile going back and playing? This is pretty. What do you think is the best part of the single player campaign? If somebody was going to jump in, is it worth going and doing now more than just for nostalgia?
I mean, if you've never played it before, I think so. It was one of the first games that actually had a female protagonist. That actually paid respect to the main character. And I think the story was really well received. I was really proud of the story I was able to construct. The thing that I did, and I think a lot of game designers try to do, is I made my problems into the core of my story. So, like, you ask yourself, why the hell would a White Cloak be using Tir-Angrial? And it's true, it's a stretch. But I made the reason for that the core of my story. Him and why the Forsaken is pretty much at the same level as everybody else. I mean, he should be just, ripping people apart. But he's got to use his Tir-Angrial too. And it's because of that core story. Yeah. So I was really proud. In fact, I didn't know how I was going to solve all that. I was on an international flight and I was stuck in the middle of 2 people, and I came up with it. Came up with the solution, and I had nothing to write it down with, and I had to wait until the next day until I could write it all down. It was nice, but agonizing at the same time.
Yeah, I think
so
I want to go back and, I mean, obviously I'm terrible at this multiplayer stuff, so I think part of my fun part would be to go back and actually just try this out and remind myself how this ever came together. How long does it take to kind of get through if you know what you're doing in
the single player game? Or
yeah.
I'd say if you've never played it before, probably about 8 hours, maybe 9 hours.
About 9 hours. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm trying to remember. Like someone who's speed running it can do it pretty reasonably quickly. But someone who's never played it before, yeah, it should take you about that amount of time.
There you go. If you're kind of curious if this is worthwhile, think about getting 9 or 10 hours of kind of run through a game for that kind of $10 of a classic Wheel of Time adventure. If you're wondering if this is for you, this has been a lot of fun to just.
Oh, did you notice the panel opened over there?
Yeah.
So there's some interesting tricks and traps on this level, like that panel on the far wall. Where's the thing that opens it? Yeah, and something opens up that thing on the ground too, the grate on the ground. Other thing. Oh, there it is.
Every once in a while, I get a kill, and I feel immensely proud of myself.
The other thing that people should know is that, I mean, there's a lot of facets to this game, including the soundtrack. And it was made by Robert Barry, Leif Sorbai, who were sort of traditional musicians, but they contributed to an album based on Jethro Tull that I really loved. And I got in contact with them, and they agreed to make the soundtrack for the game. And I was overjoyed because what they came up with was fantastic. I still listen to it sometimes, like if I'm in my car. There's a couple, like I think the White Tower song and maybe the Forsaken song were just amazing.
Well, we're about to move to a last map here. I think taking a look around would be a lot of fun, and then I think it'd be fun to step out and let anyone that wants to continue playing do so. It looks like we have 5 of us in here running around. So I like that. Those of you that have been watching this, or hopefully you've enjoyed this, we'll see if this is something you'd like us to do.
Looks like we're back at the beginning.
Back where we were before. Okay, I'm gonna step out of here and get us
good.
out. And I kind of wanted to step back a little bit and talk. We have 15, 20 minutes. Talk a little bit. I want to talk about the show, but I want to talk about your books first to make sure we don't miss out on that opportunity. So while people are here, a captive audience, talking all about the Wheel of Time and your, what you did with the PC game, maybe tell us a little bit about the book you have coming out. How would someone here know if your series that you're writing right now is right for them? Maybe, give us your elevator pitch.
So it's categorized as young adult fantasy, but that's more of a marketing term. It's actually fantasy. And in fact, I think like 60 to 80% of the people who read young adult fantasy are adults. I would say even Child of Chaos is a little darker than I would give to like a 13-year-old. I think if you enjoy fantasy, you'll hopefully enjoy my books. And in fact, it's won some awards too. This is the other award I hadn't showed off. So this was they actually gave me a medal. This is the reader's favorite gold medal for YA epic fantasy.
Is that the one that's on this one?
That's correct. Yeah, they gave me stickers to put on the cover as well.
That's great.
So the way that Child of Chaos came about is, I think I might have told you the story before, but we were going to pitch it to Activision, pitch Wheel of Time to Activision. And the night before, they said, we don't want the license. We like the game, but we don't want the license. So come up with a different premise. And so I did. And we pitched it, and they liked it. But they ended up going with the Quake guys. They ended up going with id. And so GT, they liked the license, and they were doing Unreal anyway. So we ended up going with GT. And after I was done with Wheel of Time, I came back to the premise, and I said, what is this? Is this another game? And I realized it was a novel. So for 20 years, off time, I worked on Child of Chaos.
This was 20 years in the works. Huh?
20 years in the making. And so, I kind of viewed it as a one-off because I'd blow up the world at the end, kind of. And then I realized I really love this world. People really like the characters. They love the world. And so I decided I'm going to keep on writing in this world. And I did so as a prequel before I blew up the world. And that became Game of War.
Okay.
And so that's the one that won the Dante Rossetti Young Adult Fantasy Award just a few days ago, and so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So the world and the characters seem to be really compelling. People love them, and that's awesome. And by the way, I also did my own audiobooks. And if you know anything about me, I did some voice direction and some acting in all of my adventure games and in Wheel of Time. I'm a couple of the White Cloak guards, I think. So
nice.
It would be, I'd kick myself if I didn't at least give it a try. And so far, people seem to really like my performance for the audiobooks. They actually really love my voices. And my only goal there was to make sure that if you were listening to a conversation between two people, you could keep track of who's talking to who. But people really got into it. They love all the voices. So
now you have a book coming out. I mean, without spoiling how we get to the third book. You have a book coming out in August, right? Can I show that cover?
Yep, you can. It's I've already revealed that cover. So House of Prophecy. Yeah, so I blow up the world at the end of Child of Chaos, but in one of the later edits, I added some things in there that gave me a thread that allowed me to continue forward, and in a really interesting way. We get to know some of the characters from Child of Chaos a bit deeper, and it's kind of, you know, in a scary fashion for one of them. And you should know I love my Game of Thrones, and none of my main characters are safe. So
Nice.
one of the main characters, this is the last story for them in this book. So yeah.
I like that nice quote from Piers Anthony on this one too.
So Piers Anthony read Child of Chaos, gave me the wonderful quotes for Child of Chaos. This one is something that was more general that he said about me. Right now I have yet to even send out an arc. So I will, probably end up replacing it something that's more specific for House of Prophecy.
Sure,
we'll see.
Sure.
But that's my go-to. Pierce Anthony, the fact that he read it and gave me such a glowing review is something I'm incredibly grateful for.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's fantastic. Can you give us the pitch for House of Prophecy, or is it just going to ruin anything from the previous books? In other words, for example, Wheel of Time, relatively easy to give what Robert Jordan's pitch was for it. Do you have a pitch that people can hear that they might be interested in, other than this is, a certain type of fantasy that they might be compelled enough to
so the underlying world it starts out in Child of Chaos. The gods of order have taken chaos and they've shut it away. They've put it in a vault. People are drawn to the different aspects of order, and there are tons and tons of different aspects, like law and good and evil and war and things like that. And if people are drawn to them, they have what's called a longing. They're pulled to the temple and they become priests. But everybody else, they're called faithless. And some of those faithless, and they're the lower class. Some of those faithless have a longing on their own, and they have a longing to chaos. Order doesn't like that. And so anyone that gets pulled to that vault that they shut chaos in, they just kill them. In fact, it's evil's job to kill everyone that comes over to chaos. There are two people that have a longing for chaos. One is the protagonist and one is the antagonist. And they are both trying to figure out their own lives and figure out what the hell this means. And that is pretty much the story.
Okay.
Of Child of Chaos.
Is there a general kind of setting, time period? Is it supposed to be?
It's medieval fantasy.
Medieval fantasy, okay.
With a little bit of technology, but not much. Sort of slightly elevated, like they have gunpowder.
Okay, yeah. So there it is, everybody. Obviously award-winning series so far. I hope that continues with the House of Prophecy coming up. That's August. What date is that coming out?
August 28th. And
August 28th.
I think it's my best book. It's definitely my best ending. People are just shocked. One person just couldn't speak for a long time after they finished the second book.
Nice.
And if you are interested in more about me, more about the games I've worked on, more about the books, go to mysterium.blog, and you find the books on Amazon. Also, mysteriummerchandise.bigcartel.org. You'll find the link on mysterium.blog. That's where you can order things directly from me. Not only can you get the signed books, hardcovers, and paperbacks, but you can also get an original Wheel of Time box from 22 years ago.
Yeah, if you loved the game right then and you want to get one of those original, reach out to Glenn. I know, for example, fans are always curious, what's the best way though for them to support? If they want to buy a book, should they buy it directly from you or Amazon? Does it matter to you?
If they want to get an ebook, going through Amazon is fine. If they want an actual physical book, come to me. Go to my Mysterium merchandise page, and you can get it signed there. I mean, that's the biggest difference. I can sign it to you, and it won't cost you any more than it would on Amazon. But if you get it through Amazon, that's okay with me, as long as it gets into your hands. That's all I really want. I just want people to be reading it.
Yeah, I know. I'm really excited that this has continued for you. I love that it was I know a lot of fans out there are writing, would like to write someday, and I like that you had an idea for 20 years and you finally made it real, and you're seeing some of the success from it. Is awesome to see, just as a fellow Wheel of Time fan. So I appreciate you coming in and kind of inspiring us to jump back into some old school games and play them at the same time, never giving up on our dreams of writing someday. So those of you out there, this is a great time to sit down and just tell yourself, I'm going to work on that idea from 20 years ago that I had and actually make it a reality.
And actually, I would say for prospective authors out there has never been a better time to be a self-published author. The tools that are out there allow you to produce professionally created product. You have to learn a lot, but I think you have more power now in an individual's hands to make a really wonderful product, and it didn't used to be that way. So don't get roped into, if you are an indie author, don't get roped into either vanity presses or hybrid presses or even some small presses. You can do it yourself.
That's a good point. Do you have like resources on your blog? Do you talk about how you went ahead and how you've gotten to this point? Because I'm sure a lot of people out there would be curious.
I do a little bit. I certainly talked about my experience with the audiobook because I had no exposure to how to make an audiobook and I had to come up from scratch. And I definitely DIY'd it. In fact, I'm going to be going up while it's really hot here in California. I'm going to be in my walk-in closet recording the next audiobook. And I can't have the air conditioner on because that will create noise. So,
That's a problem.
Feel bad for me as I'm recording my next audiobook. But there are a lot of resources on like Facebook. There are lots of groups out there. 20 books to 50K is an amazing resource for people who want to market something that they put together, and they're really there to sort of help you out with stuff like that. And then there are lots of other writing groups and things that are out there. In fact, like the Chanticleer group that I just came from, that's where I won the award. They have resources like that on their site as well. So it's definitely out there. And if people reach out to me on Mysterium.blog, I'd be glad to answer whatever questions people may have too.
Perfect. I believe I have some links for you in the description. I'll make sure I get Mysterium there if it's not there. I know we have a caller. I know this caller is actually calling. One of our mods here at the Dusty Wheel has something they want to share also with fandom. And what I want you to do is stick around here. I know we're going to talk briefly about what it is they would like to share, and then I want to get your thoughts a little bit on the Wheel of Time TV show before I let you go, and give away 2 mugs for those of you out there. So please stick around. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I love that some of you came in and jumped into the game and killed me a lot. Although
Thanks,
very, very satisfactory that I was able to get at least a couple kills. But as you can tell, this is not my first-person shooters.
You
are not
did
my...
as well as could be expected.
Well, I don't know about that. Well, thank you. Well, let me bring this caller, who I know really well, into the show. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Hey, Matt. It's Koala Sadai and Tari Sadai.
Tari, how are you both doing? Hey, thank you very much for being patient and calling us at the end of the show. I know for Wheel of Time fans out there, you have something you wanted to introduce. Maybe I saw a tweet out there, Koala Sadai, and I thought I'd share this with fans, but maybe you want to talk about what trading cards are and what you guys are trying to do with these cards.
Yeah, so would you like to? Definitely. So, Koala Sadai is my mom, and we decided to do a little Wheel of Time project together for the fandom that, was something that no one had done before or that we'd seen before. So we decided to make a series of Wheel of Time trading cards based on the TV show. And we've just released the first 3 today on Twitter.
Nice, I love it. Leandrin Sadai is the one I'm showing on the screen now, and then Moraine Sadai here, and Alan Mendragoran. Lan, brother, I like the brother Hot Tub. I like that you've added in some of the, what is this, Queen Shoddy, Sister Strongjaw. I love that you've added some elements of of new fans coming into the TV show on these cards. This is a lot of fun. Like, what is the idea here? I know you're not obviously intending to sell these or anything. You're just having fun sharing these with fans. What is the idea? You'll just kind of continue to just create interesting ones for fans. Can they give you ideas? You know, what is your kind of ultimate goal about sharing those with fans?
Mum, do you want to answer?
She throws it over to me now. Look, Matt, we're actually really open to ideas. We have planned a certain amount of cards, and we have a heap of concepts as well. So as things go and we watch how fans react to what we're doing, I can see it kind of consuming a lot of my time, and there could be lots of things that we haven't even thought of yet. The minute we started telling content creators about it, we got all these amazing ideas thrown at us that we hadn't thought of. So now that we've actually released them out on Twitter, the first 3 cards, I would imagine there's going to be just like lots of ideas people throw at us, and that's really exciting.
Well, I love that you are having fun with this. That just creating content around the Wheel of Time is just fun. I know this is kind of just passion for you both, and yeah, if people want to get involved and kind of want to be part of the evolution of what you are trying to do, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so probably on Twitter. So if you follow us both on Twitter at Tari Sadai and Koala Sadai, that's where we'll be most active, but we'll definitely be releasing them in some Facebook groups as well, so you can message us through there. We do plan on making like real copies of these, and then people can sort of follow us to see how they can get their hands on them. We're really hoping to be at JordanCon next year, so we'll have copies of them there as well to give away. Like we said, we're not going to be selling them, but people can definitely get copies through us. And yeah, it's exciting.
I love it. That's a lot of fun. Again, all of us have been, have jumped into just doing fun things around the Wheel of Time, and this is, again, you can go check out Tari Sadai and Koala Sadai. You can, I'm sure, find them on our Discord channel at the Dusty Wheel if you have questions, and just direct message them if you want to learn more about what they're doing, and give them some, react to what they've done so far. Let them know what you've liked and what you haven't. Hey, Tari and Koala, thank you so much for calling in and taking this moment to share this with us, and I look forward to seeing how this evolves.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thank you, and
thanks a lot, Matt. Have a great show. That was fantastic watching the gameplay.
Yeah, that was
good.
So
I'm glad
fun.
you enjoyed that. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Watching me get killed, I'm sure, was a blast. Hey, thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. Okay, bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I've always loved that about fandom. I mean, I got online in '97, talking about the Wheel of Time, and wanted to create a website at that time, and everyone was creative, and still tends to be very creative around just sharing their passion and creating fun things for fans to have. So I love this idea of just creating and giving away stuff like this, where just basically taking all that frenetic energy we have and putting it into something that's just fun for fandom. So thank you very much, and enjoy that. Please go check out these things from Koala and Tari if you're watching the show. Okay, we're at the end of this show tonight. We have 2 mugs to give away. So if you've stuck around, you have the greatest chance at this point, because they're probably the fewest people here at this moment. Taylor's going to throw that into chat. And while we do this giveaway, I want to talk to you. You've seen the TV show, I believe, right? Season 1 of The Wheel of Time. I've heard all the opinions out there. So I'm kind of curious, what was your thoughts? What are your thoughts on season 1, where they went, choices they made, and what are your thoughts about season 2? Are you looking forward to it, etc.? So yeah, maybe jump on in.
So yeah, I'm not going to dissect it. I think that's more than this show this particular show would be appropriate for. But my overall, honestly, it was difficult for me to even assess my own feelings about it, because it's like, you see a show you've never heard of or whatever. It's a blank slate, but I bring so much emotional baggage about Wheel of Time to the viewing of this thing. It's impossible for me to be objective, which makes it really weird for me to say, well, what exactly am I feeling about this thing, and how much of it is what I brought to it. So I really tried to put that aside, but it continues to baffle me. So I enjoyed it. I had fun with it, and I had fun with it, and I know I had fun with it part because I'm so involved with the series. I'm not a kind of person that is so married to the source material that someone coming in and putting their own spin on it or their own take on it is going to bother me that much. I mean, I'm a content creator that took Wheel of Time and made my own thing about it. So, you did. It would be a little hypocritical for me to say, well, it wasn't exactly like the books, therefore I hate it. So I enjoyed that take. Did I enjoy it sort of as a, how did it stack up against other TV shows that I've really liked? I think it took me a while to get involved in the series. About midway through is when I was really looking forward to the next episode. So like on its own merits, I was interested in the characters, I was interested in the plot, and I wanted to see where the series went. There were enough hooks in there that it got to me. And by the end, I was definitely looking forward to season 2.
Yeah, I think that is, I mean, I've been talking about the Wheel of Time now for more than 2 decades online. And what we would do between books coming out is we would find other ways to be interested in it, right? We would come up with our own ideas. We would break down why we didn't like certain plots. We would create our own versions of the canon, or theorize about what the canon was or would be, until Robert Jordan gave us an answer. So it's like, for me, it's very kind of not, I don't have a hard time with like, oh, they've made a change. This is how this canon has changed. And how would that change everything else is a more interesting question to me than, oh my gosh, they changed the canon. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like, yes. I'm more interested in like, what does that portend, and how would that affect the world? Because I've been doing that for a couple decades, right? I've been theorizing and speculating and whatever it is. So I think I had less of a hard time than some fans who, were like, no, that's not my story. That's not the story I know, or something to that effect. So no, it's interesting to hear your viewpoint on this, which is, you got to dive into this world, right? I kind of wanted to hear from you because you got to do that. You got to create something based on the world itself, with some direct feedback as to what you were trying to accomplish from the, I think, obviously more direct feedback than they even had from the author himself. So, and like you said, it's kind of hard to criticize too much them making changes when you wanted that freedom for yourself to innovate in the world. So, and it was interesting to hear you say, I'm looking forward to season 2 to see where they go. I want to know, like, what are they going to do with this? Like, I'm going to watch it till the end, because again, it's Wheel of Time, whether or not you say related or Wheel of Time adjacent or Wheel of Time. Well, I don't really care however you want to talk about it. It's Wheel of Time. And
exactly.
So,
what are you not going to watch it?
Yeah, it's as a fan, I couldn't not. It's just impossible, So I appreciate you sharing those thoughts with us. Okay, you guys had enough time to join this raffle. I think you have a great opportunity today to win 1 of 2 mugs. So here you go. Taylor, you want to finish off the raffle here, and let's give our 2 winners and let our guest here get back to whatever you were doing today, Glenn. You got any fun plans for after this?
My family is dying to have dinner. They've been waiting for me. So that's what I'm off to do.
We'll let you get to dinner here. Our first winner was Susan Peterson. Congratulations, Susan Peterson. That's one. You won one of our mugs tonight. So, and our second winner tonight is Brother Zachariah. That's right, Brother Zachariah. You have won the second mug. So that was quick. Taylor didn't waste any time there. Susan Peterson, Brother Zachariah, please get a hold of me on Discord or other social media. You can find links in the description of this. If you have any question, reach out to me. Let me know. For those of you that have won over the last 2 months, been waiting for a Zazzle sale on mugs. I know you've been waiting longer. Well, you caught me in the midst of a move and a new job, so it is taking longer than normal to get you your mugs. You're going to get them, but don't worry. Please do reach out to me if you're like, hey, where's my mug? Okay, that's it, everybody. Again, congratulations to our winners tonight. Thank you all for being here, and please do come back next week when we're talking about adaptations. We're talking about the Wheel of Time, Rings of Power with Nerds of the Ring and Christy Lucier. That's it, everybody. Glenn, thank you so much for being here. Please do check out Glenn's website. Give his books a shot. Others out there obviously think they're a lot of fun, and to the point where you're winning awards on them. And I think that speaks volumes to your ability to connect with an audience with your writing. So maybe once your third book comes out, we'll have you back talking about that book. That'd be a lot of fun. So, hey, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And we will see everyone next week. As we stay around here, good night from the Dusty Wheel, and smash to black.
Welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're already. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is
really well.
scenes.
And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So
Jess complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm
sad.
not
I see Lukumi as something along the lines of a Shida Haran analog.
It does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge. Yay!
Pair of like baby face mounted on like a huge body. So like all of a sudden,
This is not just
like,
a traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
And
elements.
just a moment
for those that
ago,
are kind of interested.
Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guest in here with me. And
Probably, I would say, put in 70, 80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no,